On the build up to the 50th anniversary celebrations, I know it's a long way back now, there were rumblings on the wind. There's a bit of a juicy mixed metaphor for you of colorizations coming for classic Doctor Who. Those black and white stories, such as An Unearthly Child, might be getting a new spin on them and put on screen. But nothing ever came of this at the time, and it's transpired since then that there were apparently some plans that just didn't quite come to fruition. But when Russell T Davies took over Doctor Who again in 2021 and started gearing up for his 60th anniversary celebrations, he wanted colorizations to be a part of it. He was making it happen, and so we got a 75-minute cut down edit of The Daleks, the second classic story, believe it or not. We got that. It made a bit of a stir, and there was talks of this becoming an annual thing. And lo and behold, on the 23rd of December 2024, the 61st anniversary, we had the announcement of the War Games in colour, a 10-parter edited down to 90 minutes for us to enjoy in one sitting on the 21st or 23rd?
23rd.
Top of my head. 23rd of December, just before Christmas, when we tuck into Joy to the World. How are we feeling about this?
It looks great. It looks really great. I think they've took on some little notes from what we said about the Daleks in colour.
Not us specifically.
Not us personally. No. We weren't
Have
at
we
Battle Studios going, Russell, mate, you need to change that a little bit, all right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, and obviously we got another cut down this year with Pyramids of Mars, so hopefully they've learned what works and what doesn't with cutting things, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think it ends up at about, it ends up 9 minutes per part,
Mm.
which is a lot to cut there. That's a good quarter of an hour shaved off each episode. Not that that's going to be exact, it's going to vary across the whole story. I imagine things like part one will probably get a little bit more.
Well, they found some new film inserts, didn't they? The original film inserts,
Yeah,
which
which
looks
has bolstered the
fantastic.
quality greatly. Yeah, looking at the stills, they look gorgeous. Everything in that trailer worked really well in
Yeah,
color. I love the red shades they've given
yeah, really
the
cool.
warlords.
Black and
Yeah,
red,
that
good combo.
works very well. Yeah, I think the color choices on this one feel like they are coming together quite nicely. On the Daleks in color at times, it felt like they were reaching a bit
Just
to
so they could
make it
make it
more
color.
technicolor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I think a lot of that is there to begin with.
Hmm.
Especially with all the different wars, all those different uniforms. You got a lot of different colors going on there. So, yeah, I think in terms of the technical aspect of that colorization, I can't see any flaw with that.
I
I'm
look
very
forward to
excited
seeing
for.
like the prison effects, like the walls and how they do sort of that 60s effect work on it, really.
Yeah, it is just going to be that thing of how well is this edit going to work.
Yeah, because some people say the War Games is too long, others can happily binge watch it. And you know what? I think it suits for 10 parts.
Yeah, I like it as a 10-parter, but that's not to say I'm against these things being cut down. I mean, for
Mhm.
colorizations, I think, there's only so much you can do feasibly. It's sort of got to be cut down, hasn't it? It's just a
Yeah.
case of how well it's cut down because at times, it was all the music throughout the Daleks in color and everything. It just made it feel like one long trailer. It
Hmm.
was so chop, 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 chop. And ultimately, I get when you're cutting it down that much, you sort of need almost B-roll, don't you? For
Yeah.
much.
And it had its method of getting around it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of the case of how much they need to do here.
But
That's
we
the other
do get
question. Because
we may lose a lot, but we gain a regeneration.
yeah, that's true. Don't know how I feel about that though, because
Hmm.
it's used in that new series effect. Part of a wonderful fan made video, which I'm not disparaging
Yeah, I love
the
it. It's great.
creator of that at all. It's just working into a quote unquote canon piece. It sort of feels like it homogenizes regeneration. it
Yes.
sort of takes away the magic a bit when they're all just that same new series style effect.
I mean, we've still got the original. That's a wonderful
Yeah,
thing.
true. It never,
Um,
yeah. These things don't take that away.
but I guess the beauty of like the classic series Regenerations is that it's them learning about technology and showing how far technology is advanced while this Doctor's been in the role, isn't it?
Hmm.
So it's sort of the evolution of television in a way.
Yeah. These colorizations now, it seems like they may be an annual thing
Here to
going
stay.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the end goal is Russell wants to do as many as possible.
Hmm.
So I guess with all the War Games chat out the way, what,
Where next?
yeah, where
Where?
next?
What next?
We've gone from the last black and white story. Where are we gonna go next, really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like on the build up to this, it was between Tomb and War Games. I think people were
I think you want a Cyberman
debating them.
story.
Yeah. And it would feel nice to get a shorter story cut down, you know, because hopefully that would flow a bit better. Maybe a 50-45 minute edit of Tomb of the Cybermen could do the trick.
And maybe you could sort of do the Cyberman with like red eyes, like they did in like the Amazing World of Doctor Who book. It's a
Oh,
little nod back to that. That'd be neat because I think with Tomb of the Cybermen, as much as it'd be nice to see it in color,
there's only so much color there, isn't
there's
there?
always so much color there 'cause it's just going to be ice and stuff. But I did think of three stories that could be contenders.
Far away.
My first option is a William Hartnell story,
Mm.
and I think this would sort of possibly benefit from the sort of cut down nature, and that's the Keys of Marinus. It's already this quest style thing, adventure, so I feel
Ah.
like it could work quite well as this little sort of snappy little cut down. And plus, the colorization of Marinus as a world, I think that could work very well.
Yeah, certainly the variety of settings as well. You go from jungle to ice to a city. Yeah, I think there's definitely a broad range of colors there that they can, exploit.
I think for a second Doctor, I think the Mind Robber would be perfect. We've seen sort of how they sort of played with the toy maker in animation, but could you imagine sort of them rotoscoping, Jamie and Zoe in sort of the white void and making this big expanse? Like, I feel like there's a lot of
Mm.
creative liberties with that story. What would benefit the colorization?
Yeah. What's your third choice?
My third choice, I think this will benefit both options, cut down and
Mm.
um, colorization. My third choice is a story what I think really shows it's 60s Who at its core, and I think it's the best representation of 60s Doctor Who, that it's just trying to be bold, ambitious, creative, and with a shoestring budget, it makes things work. And that's the Web Planet, a story
Mm.
I don't really like. It's six parts, but I can admire the creative vision and everything it's trying to do. And I think it being cut down would be great. And I think it'd just be fun to see it colorized. And we've got little
Yeah.
glimpses
You
of the
might be able
Hartnell
to
years.
get through it then.
Yeah, you might be able to watch and go, oh, look, it's pretty shiny Zarbi,
Mm.
So I think that would be a neat one to see.
Yeah. Like you say, we got little glimpses of it in that
Mm,
coming next trailer that they did at
yeah,
the
the
end of
Hartnell
the.
years, yeah.
Yeah. Makes me wonder, do you think we'll get a Pertwee style trailer at the end of the War Games? 'Cause
Ooh, I would like that. Yeah, that'd be
mm.
great. Be
And
hey, can we recolorize, Ambassadors at Death and
mm,
Invasion? Yeah, maybe that could be like one of the next colorizations. Actually, that's something we've not really thought about,
I
possibly.
mean, yeah, that was the next point I was going to get onto actually, because with the war between the land and the sea coming up, could next year or early the year after they do like a spruced up special edition cut down edit of the Sea Devils?
Mm,
Because even though it's not necessarily an in color thing, because well, it already is in color,
yeah.
these stories do more than just colorize to try and bring it to a wider audience. They do more of a new series style edit and, you know, change the music and stuff.
Are we gonna get
Yeah, a
the
rescore.
15th Doctor sat in like the TARDIS going, "Hey, this is when I first met these guys."
Hmm. See,
New score for that. But I feel
yeah,
like you can't take that away from the Sea Devils. It's such an iconic
it's,
score.
it is part of its
Identity.
DNA, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on the war games. What stories are coming next? Um, yeah, put them down in the comments. We've said a few of the stories we'd like to see. Um, yeah.
Yeah, share yours. It'd be interesting to see what other options people come up with.
Would you mind sort of re-edits of 70s stories, 80s stories, um, proper, recolorizations of the Pertwee episodes? There's it. We sort of go for the 60s stories because that's black and white, but there's other options there, isn't there?
Hmm. Yeah, there's more that could be done in this style, if
Yeah.
not necessarily with the tagline in color anymore.
Yes.
It's about bringing Classic Who to a more modern audience, which some people are vehemently against. I kind of understand the point of view, but at the same time, the originals are still there, and it can be a gateway to those originals
Hmm.
as well for people. So, at the end of the day, it's a win-win. So, I'm looking forward to the War Games in color.
Yeah. Nice little Christmas present.
Hmm. Yeah, let us know if you are as well, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.